which are initially promoted by the government have normally excelled in a monopoly environment. But the real test comes when they are in a competitive environment. And the LIC clearly stands out as a shining example where even in a competitive environment, it's a market leader by more than a mile. And not only has it serviced its clients, as was just explained, the settlement ratio is almost close to the maximum. And in addition to its normal functions, it has also been discharging a very important social responsibility. Whenever welfare schemes as the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, Jeevan Bima Yojana are launched, it is the LIC which really becomes the critical factor, because they are the normal administrators of these schemes and they have the wherewithal and the apparatus to expand these schemes. Of course, this present scheme, the Pradhan Mantri Vaya Vandan Yojana, was announced by the Honorable Prime Minister on the 31st of December, and the LIC was asked to administer this scheme. There is a critical balance that we have to maintain. We live in a world where, for the efficiency of the economy, our banks and other institutions are expected to lend at an affordable rate. And if the lending rates go down, obviously the borrowing rates are also impacted. Now that is considered essential and inevitable for an efficient economy. But then it throws up an incidental problem, which is also a very important issue to be addressed, which is that the senior citizens really want a no-risk investment, and they want a non-fluctuating return. They want a reasonable rate of return, because not being gainfully employed at that age, they want the security which that fixed income can bring them. And therefore, in this balance, this is the scheme which was announced by the Honorable Prime Minister, which the LIC has already put into action, which ensures a real return of 8.3%, which in today's world of reducing interest rates is a fairly respectable rate of return, particularly for senior citizens. And it's a return which is exempted from any form of service tax which existed before the 30th of June or the GST thereafter. And therefore this becomes an absolute return for the senior citizen itself. And it's a return which is not going to fluctuate during the 10-year life of this policy itself. And that is why in the few days that it has been in operation, there has been a fairly encouraging response. And I'm sure with the formal launch today, as against the soft launch which took place, more and more people are going to avail themselves of this particular scheme. This is really meant for the targeted clientele of senior citizens who have limited resources, and therefore within the limitation of those resources would like to lead a life of dignity and respect, and therefore expect a reasonable rate of interest. I am sure with the kind of reliability and the security to an investment that the LIC has earned all these years, there will be a huge expression of confidence in this scheme. And I would urge through my friends in the media present here, to popularize the scheme so that more and more of our senior citizens can really avail of this. And this part of their life itself could be led with a reasonable amount of comfort. I once again acknowledge the role of the LIC and compliment all its executives and employees for having made this scheme in such a short period a reality. Thank you very much.